What's up, motherfuckers? It's your boy Jay, man. And today I'm going to be making a video on my little project I've been working on for the past 2 weeks. And that is building your own bait tank for all my fishing folks out there. Now, before I jump in and start showing you the tank and all that good stuff, I'm just going to tell you why I decided to build a bait tank. One, I calculated on roughly about how much I spent on bait last year for fishing, and that's including waxworms, night crawlers, goldfish, bluegills, all the bait that I use for all different fish I'm after, minnows, everything. And I spent roughly somewhere between $800 and $1,200. Could have been more. That's just a rough guess. That's a lot of freaking money. So I decided this year I'm going to build my own bait tank, catch my own bait, and save myself a buttload of money. So that's what I did, and I would like to say before I jump into this that I am not a handyman kind of guy. I don't build stuff. I don't fix stuff. I'm not good at it. Usually when I go after trying to fix or build something, I mess it up if I'm trying to fix it, even worse than it was. Or if I'm in the middle of building something, I get confused or I don't know what I'm doing, or I end up leaving it or have somebody else build it for me. But I don't want to do that no more. I want to be a handyman. I want to be good at building stuff. And the only way to get there is to start building stuff. So here we are. I built a bait tank. Let's go look at it. All right, here she is. I got one of those big plastic caged in tubs from work. They gave it to me for free 99. And I brought it home. I cleaned it out real good. I cut it. I wasn't planning on keeping that lid, but I decided that while I was cleaning it, there was like leaves and stuff falling into it, and I was like, man, I better keep a lid on this thing to keep all the trees and stuff out of here. Plus, I don't want to come in here one night and get some bait and there be like a dead raccoon or squirrel floating around in here because they tried to eat my bait. But yeah, this is it, man. Here's your main ingredients right here. You need a pond pump. I'll put a link to the pond pump I bought in the description of this video. You're going to need a pond pump. You're going to need some PVC piping. I went with 3/4. And one of the other main ingredients that I got, I don't think you have to have it, but it's good to have it just in case, is a real good aerator. I got this also on Amazon. And yeah. And your filter. You got to have a good filter system. And I'm going to show you how I built that. So I'm going to try to start from the beginning. Number one, you're going to need some power. So I ran a power strip right here in my window to where I got a plug in right inside this window where I plug in my laundry. Get you some power. I mounted me a power outlet. You're going to need power for your aerator, of course, and your pond pump down there. And then I'm going to show you a little bit how I built this filter system. So you're going to need a 5-gallon bucket. Got me a 5-gallon bucket. You're going to have to drill some holes in it. Once you drill some holes in it, then you're going to have to cut some PVC. And you're going to need a piece of PVC for your entrance and a piece for your exit. Now, basically what I did, once I got my pond pump, the very first thing I did was check the attachments. I found an attachment that went into some hosing that I found at the hardware store. And I took my attachments to my pump to the hardware store. That's a smart thing to do. So went to the hardware store with my pond pump attachments. I found some tubing, hosing, whatever you want to call it. And once I figured out, what type of tubing, I wanted to go with 1-inch everything, but they didn't have the right attachments and the right stuff that I needed to run 1-inch. So I went with 3/4. 3/4 your go-to. You're going to have everything you need if you go 3/4. Your hosing, your PVC, your fittings for your pond pump. Everything is way much easier with 3/4. I wanted to do 1-inch, but it didn't work out. So pond pump to your hosing. This stuff, I really wanted something clear and not as thick, but this is what I got stuck with. I found some of this at the hardware store. So it goes pond pump, fitting, your fitting into your hosing, and then this goes into another fitting. I had to find this at the hardware store that goes from PVC to my hosing. Then I measured and cut a piece of PVC Drilled some holes in it, like, hold on a second here. There you go. I drilled some holes so that way the water can flow down, and this is what I'm using as a filter. So I start off with this blue, looks like air filters, blue and white air filters that I found at work. I found some of this also at work. I think this is a type of air filter. I got some of that in there. And then your big majority of your filtering is pot scrubbies, man. I found you get 4 in a pack at the Dollar Tree for $1, and I bought like 7 or 8 packs. Everybody uses these in all the videos I've watched. So I have one blue filter at the very bottom, and then a rock. I don't know why, but I wanted to put a rock in there. It felt right. And then a bunch of these pot scrubbies. And then I put one of these in there. And once I get that white little thingamajigger in there, a little filter, I throw these blue air filters back in. And I'm gonna fire it up right here in a second, show you guys how she runs. It doesn't really have to be filled all the way up to the top with stuff, but you can build a water filter for close to nothing. I'd say I got maybe $4 in this whole filter system, and I've probably spent maybe $150 altogether on this, everything, on the pumps, the hosing, the PVC, all the attachments. I mean, 150 versus roughly 1,000 every year, that's a no-brainer. And then I found these on Amazon. These would have been perfect if I would have ordered the right size. These are called Uniseals. So basically, once you drill your hole in your bucket, you can shove these in there and then put your PVC or whatever you want through it, and it blocks out all the water so you don't get no leaks. But my dumb ass bought the wrong size. I got 1 inch, and because I thought I was running 1 inch everything, but then I got to the hardware store and realized that I was going with 3/4, but I didn't have 3/4 Uniseals. So I wish I would have waited to buy these until I got all my PVC. But if you're doing this, make sure everything is the right size. But yeah, it comes up from the pond pump, goes into this piece of PVC with the holes drilled in it, runs down through all these air filters, these pot scrubbies, and then I have a piece of PVC coming out right here, and I water silicone the shit out of it. And that stuff holds pretty good. I got that stuff for like $3 at the Dollar General. And then that runs into the tank. Had to drill a hole there into a 90-degree elbow. 90-degree elbows are very helpful to have. But yeah, comes out down here. I wanted to make sure that all the water is coming down through a series of filters and then coming back in, and it gets filtered really good before it comes back in. So I made sure my entrance pipe was at the very top and my exit pipe was at the very bottom, so it had to get filtered the shit out of it. But it comes out of the 5-gallon bucket right here into a 90-degree elbow, drops down to a shutoff valve, which I don't really need, but if the water's ever not filtering good enough, I'll turn that on a little bit so the water kind of rises up and gets filtered a little more and then comes back through. And then it goes into another 90-degree elbow. And then comes down here. I got a bunch of holes right here in this piece of pipe to another 90-degree elbow. And then I got some more right here all the way to a cap. Caps are important. I needed 1 cap here and 1 cap right there. You gotta have your caps or nothing's gonna work right. I didn't need these extra elbows. Really all I needed was 2, but I had 2 extra, so I decided to run this pipe all the way around through the front. But that's enough jabber-jawing. You guys got the general idea. There's a bunch of more videos on YouTube that will walk you through how to do all this. But I just really wanted to show you how I built mine, and let's fire it up. Now before I start this thing, I will say I fired it up a little bit ago for the first time, and I had a pretty bad leak right there where the hose goes into the fitting and the fitting goes into the PVC where the water comes out. So I drilled my holes a little bit bigger. Where's my drill? I don't know where my drill bit is that I used, but I drilled my holes a little bit bigger for that piece right there. And then I had to take some, what is this stuff called? Great White Pipe Joint Compound. It was right next to all the PVC piping, and I put that in that attachment right there, and then my piece of PVC I wrapped with a little piece of electrical tape and shoved that back into that fitting. I let that sit for about an hour and ran some water through it, and now it's good. So that stuff works pretty good, and electrical tape works pretty good, and hopefully everything will go smooth once I turn this sucker on. And there you go. I don't think I have any leaks. So far she looks good. She looks good. That was leaking pretty rough before. Since I got it sitting on a wood table, the last thing I wanted was rotted wood right here where my filter system is. But I put some of that PVC joint compound or PVC cement, whatever you want to call it, in there with a little bit of electrical tape on this end, and now she's doing good. Let me show you what the inside looks like. This is the best part. Yeah. That's how I like it. I don't know if I said this before, but I got these air stones at Walmart for $5 a piece. They're 14 inches. And I took some of that, hold on. I gotta find this stuff because you don't want to do this without this stuff right here. I went through a whole tube. Almost went to a second one. Loctite clear silicone waterproof. You definitely need some of this. That's what I did my PVC with. This is what I use to put down my airline stones. You got to have some of this. You can get this at the dollar store right now. Not the Dollar Tree, but the dollar store, like Dollar General, Family Dollar. This was like $2.99. Get you some of that. But that waterproof silicone is what I use to lock down them air stones, because super glue wasn't working for some reason. But that stuff worked good. I just sealed it all up, let it sit overnight. Got the pond pump back there in the corner doing what it does best. And here it is, baby. A lot of people like to, a lot of people will run PVC down into the water. They won't drill holes. They'll just have something like this where it's like a current in here. So that way it keeps some bait alive that like current, like minnows, like current, shad. If you decide to keep shad, you definitely want some kind of current, some kind of moving water. But a big majority of my bait's going to be bluegills and crappie. I'll have some minnows and goldfish, yellow belly catfish. But there it is, man. This bait tank is proof that even retarded rednecks that don't know how to work on stuff can build stuff. I'm very proud. And the fact that it's not leaking makes me very happy. So yeah, hope you got. The only piece of advice that I can give you guys on this, that I've gathered from other people who build these bait tanks, make sure you got a lot of oxygen for your fish, and Yeah, a lot of oxygen, and make sure you watch a lot of videos on how to do this. I didn't really go into details on how to build this too much. I just kind of basically showed you how I built it. But do your research. I watched videos for like 2 weeks straight before I dove into doing all this, and I was keeping a list of everything that I wanted and how I wanted to do it. Everybody does their stuff different. I could have did this 20 different ways, but this is how I wanted to do it. And I'm very, very happy with it. And I can't wait to do some fishing. Love y'all. Be good. Alright, here we go. First batch of fish going in. Hold on.
These are all crappie.
Oh my god! Oh, this is the one. This is the shell cracker.
Where's that little net out you were just using?
It's like up here, isn't it?
Nah, I put it somewhere. Oh, looking. Is it on the tank?
No.
No.
I thought you just put it up there.
I thought I did too. I don't know what happened to it. Oh, here it is.
Crappie.
Yeah. Yep, one just jumped out. It's not a very stable net. I got that net at the Dollar Tree. I don't know why my light won't come on.
They're gonna fucking migrate to that rock, bro.
I know, that's why I put them rocks around it so nobody gets sucked up.
Big boy crappie.
Alright, that's enough water. Go shut that water off, bub. Nice crappie. We smoked them tonight at our little bait hole. A warmouth. Oh yeah. Oh no, we got a bunch of crappies. That's good. The colder that water is, the better. Is that it? You guys do the other bucket? Alright.
Dude, hell yeah.
There it is.
There's a bunch of them hiding under the rock.
Yeah.